Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the Storm Supernova. The Supernova is the newest ball in the Premier line. It does have the NEX cover stock that we did see on the Proton Physics, and it does have the ignition core that we found in the Nova. In 15 pounds, the RG is 2.49, the differential is 0.52, and the intermediate differential is 0.19. The ball does come at a 2000 grit finish, and the fragrance on it is Fruit Pop. The layout on my Supernova is 70 by 5.5 by 35. This is going to be an experimental layout on the bigger equipment, just that way I can throw it on a little bit wider variety of patterns. I was originally thinking about doing a 2-inch pin on it, but the problem is that I didn't want the ball to be too early and not very usable, so that's why I went with this layout. I did throw a Reality one-handed at one point, so that's kind of what I'm going to compare part of this to, but overall, I really like the ball so far and what I've seen from it. It does give me a good mix of the Reality and the Proton Physics. It gives you the cleanliness of the Reality, but it doesn't have the same back end motion as a Reality. It's kind of a good blend between a Proton Physics and then the Reality. I would say for this being a bigger ball, it doesn't give me big ball vibes. It gave me a look to where I could throw this a little bit further left, and I didn't deal with it just burning up and doing nothing. I threw the review, and then I also threw it a little bit in league. At the end of a 3-game set with a 5-man league, I was still able to throw this ball. It depends on the condition, of course, but I was still able to throw it, and I got a pretty decent reaction. I was able to, play about 20 to 8 and still not have a problem with it. That's why this ball does really remind me of a Reality, because when I was throwing one-handed, the Reality was my go-to ball on fresh conditions and any bigger ball. It didn't give me the issue of having something that's too early and it just does nothing. It gave me a little bit more clearance through the front and still picked up and went. That's why I really do like this Supernova, especially with me being two-handed. This is a ball that I can throw on a house shot and I won't run into an issue to where it continues to burn up too much or it's just completely unusable. I can jump left with this ball and still have confidence that it will go through the break point and actually hit it very well, and that's why I really like it. I mean, it's going to be my one ball, of course, just because of the cover stock differences with it, but I would definitely say between this, the X3, and the Reality Check, out of all three of them, the Supernova is actually one of my favorite right now. When it comes to this ball being in the bag, this is definitely going to be a ball that is going to stay in the bag for a while. This is something where I can control the motion, and no matter what I'm bowling on, I know I can throw it for the most part. If it's short patterns, I know I can handle it. If it's a house shot, I know this ball can handle it. If it's long patterns, I know this ball can handle it. It's one thing that I really like so far. Is my opinion going to change in a couple months once it has more games on it? Of course, for the most part, everything does. For this to remain in the bag for a while, I do see that happening just because I love the look that it's giving me so far. To who I would recommend this to, I'd probably say a decent amount of bowlers. If you're a higher speed crowd, definitely going to pick up and go and you don't have to worry about the ball just reading too early and doing nothing. If you're a higher rev rate, this is definitely going to be a one ball and you can throw it on a variety of patterns. If you ever thrown a Reality, you're probably going to like this ball. If you've thrown the Nova, I would definitely say this is going to be a ball that's at least 4 to 5 stronger with it, but the back end motion is really what got me on it, because when I was throwing the regular Nova, what I ended up finding is sometimes it didn't hit the spot well enough and it just didn't recover. Versus this, the cover stock fits this core perfectly and I get a great look. I would say if you do have a Proton Physics already or a Reality that's not very beat up, I would say having the Supernova in the bag is not going to be a good fit because you're going to see too much of an overlap. If you're shopping around for big balls on the market and you're looking at all three of those and even the Gem, me personally, I'd probably choose the Supernova just because of the cleanliness, especially with my higher rev rate. That's why I would prefer this ball over the Gem and Proton. I could see it being a good replacement for the Reality if yours has a lot of games on it, because it's going to give you a similar motion, and that's why I really like it. The Supernova does come out on September 23rd. I do want to thank Storm Bowling and Turbo Products for giving me great equipment that I can show off to you guys. Thank you so much for watching the review. Please comment, like, and subscribe for future ball reviews.